Stage 3. Here you can see the synopsis of the lesson today. So we'll be going through the language, then practicing it, and then doing some more practice with translations and comprehensions. So, about the language. So we have looked at two cases so far, the nominative case and the accusative case. So the nominative case is used for the subject of a sentence, such as Metella, Caecilius, or Mercator, and the accusative case is used for the object of the sentence, so Metellam, Caecilium, and Mercatorum. So you can see how these all differ. So you have a name, and a noun, and there are slight differences, but they still decline in the same way. So this is due to the fact that they're all in different declensions. So Metella is in the first declension, Caecilius is in the second declension, and Mercator is in the third declension. The fact that they're names is just a byproduct, it doesn't really have that much relevance. So the different declensions. So the first declension. So you have Metella, Metellam, Ancilla, Ancillam, Taberna, Tabernam. So you can see that they all follow quite a distinct pattern. They end in A, and they're in the nominative, and their accusative goes to am. And if you see, so yeah, these all tend to be feminine nouns, with a few exceptions, such as nauta, meaning sailor, which is a masculine noun, but is still in the first declension. So here we have the second declension. So Caecilius goes to Caecilium, Servus goes to Servum, Amicus goes to Amicum. You can see they also follow a pattern. So they all end in us in the nominative and end in the accusative. These tend to be masculine nouns. Now here we have a third declension. Mercator goes to Mercatorem, Leo goes to Leonem, and Senex goes to Senem. So they all also tend to be masculine nouns, but you can see that they don't follow quite the same distinct pattern. All the nominative endings may vary, such as Mercator, Leo, and Senex, but the accusative endings do follow a pattern. They all end in M. So now practicing the language. So you attempt the exercises in your book, and pause it here because I'll put the answers up on the screen in just a moment. Okay. So you can see I've given the word I would choose and then the translation of that, because I believe that's what best makes sense. Remember, our answers don't have to be exactly the same, because the English can vary slightly, as long as you have the same meaning. In foro. So please attempt this translation. Pause the video here, and give your best shot. And then I'll put the answers up in a second. Yeah, so this is my translation of in foro. Remember, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. As long as you have the right meaning, then yeah, it's good. Okay, now please attempt the pictorial translation. And pause the video here, I'll put my answer up in a second. Okay. And now we have the tons or comprehension. So this one is slightly different, but remember, pause the video here, attempt the questions, and I'll put the answers up in a second. So you can see for most of them you don't need any Latin. You just have to answer the questions. Make sure you try and answer them in full sentences. Don't just write, say, the verse is rude. You have to write Caecilius last because the verse is rude. It just helps to give context behind your answer. And you can see on number 8, we did need to use the Latin, so make sure you're putting that in speech marks or quotation marks, just so we know that you're directly quoting from the Latin. Vernalicius. So please attempt this translation, and as always, pause the video here, and then I'll put my answers up, and you can review your translation. Okay, so exercises, but it's just good useful revision. I know with the declensions and stuff, Emmanuel goes over them in more detail in his vocab stage through video. So make sure you watch that and grasp a better understanding, because that will also be able to help you with your translations and the comprehensions and practicing the exercises. Thank you.